Hello and welcome to Wakefield to Knottingley route building episode 18. Getting up in the numbers now. We're starting literally, well we're not now. Okay, we're starting literally where episode 17 finished. This is where it finished. I was farting about with this industrial estate. And I was like, at the start of episode 17, I was like, I'm going to smash this, I'm going to get all this done. In episode 17, well I didn't. I only got the buildings placed and this bit done. Episode 18, we're going to focus on detailing all these areas around this industrial estate. So trying to find the balance between foliage and buildings and stuff like that. So let's crack on, we're not going to wait. You know, if you want to see why I'm doing this, what I'm doing here, why did he place that building, what, you know, watch episode 17, I went into it all there. Episode 18, we're going to crack on with this industrial estate and what we call cluttering. So we're adding the clutter. So we've got car parks and bits of rubbish strewn about and stuff, so that's what we're going to do. First thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to line out where the fencing goes. It's palisade fencing again around this area, so let's crack on with that. Just line it up to there. Got snap to terrain on again with the fence. And what that does is it just makes the fence try and stay level with the terrain, but TS is buggy as hell. And it doesn't actually work very well, but it sort of does the trick. Better than just laying it than having to adjust it all yourself anyway. Nah, I've gone too far past it. Now palisade. And then just take it up to here. And then stop. Now all I'm going to do is, what I can do here is, if I click left mouse button there, press L, it drops the fence down into the ground. I didn't know that until a couple of years ago. It was one of the things I've learned relatively recently. That you could snap gradient posts and lofts as a result down to the ground. So it makes it nice and easy for doing that. Right, just move this along. There, you see another fence goes along to the track there, look, so we're going to have to do that in a second as well. Again, just click the arrow, press L, brings it down to ground height. And we can then, we'll do the one to the track first. And the aim for this episode is to try and finish this side of the track on this section through the industrial estate at Featherstone. This is again, as I said in episode 17, where Acton or Colliery used to be. It's literally the ground where it's sat. I think it shut 1986-ish, I think, is when it shut. The pit. And this industrial estate sort of sprouted up about 15 years ago. Something like that. Before then, until then, it was like waste ground around here. Quite a lot of industrial activity around here. Which is, you know, modern industry. Obviously in the old days it was energy related industry. Featherstone literally is a coal mining town. It's all it did in back in the day. Oh, look, low poly cars. Could have used those a few minutes ago, couldn't I? No, maybe not. They're the Kuju ones that are low poly. I hate the Kuju ones unless I'm using them miles off. Oh, well, I'll know about those now anyway, that's good. Right, so let's put, first of all, a lorry in, because we can see there's a lorry there, so we've got the lorry in. Yeah. There's a building we're missing here. So we can put that building there. Make sure it's snapped to the ground, which it is. Put that lorry there. So we've got all sorts of, just looks like crap dump, basically. So, these are the sorts of scenes that are fun. You can have a lot of fun with these scenes, because really, you can just put down whatever the hell you want. Nice of DCG to literally make a thing called factory clutter. That's very good of them. Thanks, DCG. That's useful. So we just got, there we go, the factory clutter's in for that bit. We've got a bit more over here, look. So let's have a look what else they've got in Southampton to Bournemouth. There's a flexi group as well, which is cool. I'm not going to use it again because it'll get repetitive if I keep using it in the same area. Obviously I'll use it further down. Now, brick blocks. I don't see brick blocks being in here. It just seems a bit unrealistic to have brick blocks in there. Is there any lamps that we should be putting near? can't see any, so one would assume... Oh, there they are. There's some lamps there, look. Sort of there on this car park, though. But I guess the bulb could face both ways. So just putting these lamps in. And they go around this car park. So I didn't notice those before. And there we go. So we've got the lights in now around the car park. Adds a little bit more detail. We're at 641 assets. We're trying to keep this asset tile below 1,000, and that's everything below, everything inside this area. It's not looking good for 1,000. I reckon 1,002 to 300 would be a good target. We'll try for 1,000. Gives us something to aim for at least. Not going to bother putting pallet jacks and stuff in, because really we don't need those. I might put a pallet rack in and lower it down slightly, or just leave it that high. And we'll lower it down slightly. And we'll put this one nice and high. There we go. Nice little assets. I like these. I've not really looked so much at the Southampton to Bournemouth stuff. It's nice that they did this. It'd have been nice if they'd killed some more of the Cujo stuff off, but I suppose the budget means they can't. It's a shame though, because it did affect the quality of the route. The amount of Cujo stuff that got left in. So this does look like bricks and stuff. You see the orange bits on there. So let's put that there. That like that. Let's go back up here and find that brick thing that I had. Junk brick blocks. There we go. Looks okay from the cab. So all I'm doing there is just checking what it looks like from the cab. Make sure that nothing's standing out as looking below quality, below the standards that we're aiming for, and that it just looks nice. I'm not entirely sure what that is, so I'm not going to put that in. I'm going to put a few more containers in. See what stacks we've got. They are literally all stacks. What I want is just 3 alongside each other then, basically. It's a shame they're so low res, but beggars can't be choosers and all that jazz. So again, we're going to put some cars in on this little bit of waste ground around this car park. Using the Southampton to Bournemouth ones here, they actually look decent. I thought they looked crap for some reason, but they don't. They are the same ones though, it seems. Just going to put a couple of vans in as well, because you do often see vans in places like this. There we go, I reckon that's done. Now I'm not going to put clutter on the back stuff, I'm just going to put trees and maybe a couple of car parks, because at the end of the day, once again, you don't see them from the cab. So there's no point in doing them. There's no point killing people's frame rates for stuff you don't see. So just painting the terrain again, gone onto the paint tool. And I'm going to paint all this grass and stuff around it in a minute, so I'm not too fussed about that at the minute. Just rough sort of marking out. So what have we got in here? We've got basically lines of bushes and stuff is essentially what it is. And because they're behind the first line, I'm going to do them as 2D. They'll stand out a little bit, but I'm not going to get wound up about it. So we'll just put some hawthorn bushes in here. And then what we're looking for That'll do. Because they are pretty newly planted trees and stuff around here. And then there's another little line of hawthorn bushes can go there. And that'll do for that bit. I reckon this will be benefited by putting in some like longer grass lines and stuff. So let's do that. Liverpool to Manchester. The long grass. Make it meet up with the grass that we've got on the track. I'm not going to put 2 lines in, I can just make it do with 1 line. Keeps the asset count down once again. We're 670 now, we're not looking good for 1,000, I can tell you that. We really aren't looking good for 1,000. Leave that bit for now. So let's have a little look in play mode. When I've done these scenes, I always like to have a little look to see how it's looking. And I'm happy with that. Again, from this view it looks okay. From the cab it looks, you know, decent. I think it's safe to say it looks okay. Reasonably happy. So let's go up to the next one. Let's not be faffing about looking at who did what with who on this route. We've got this bit here. Again, I'm going to put some fencing in first, and then we've got this like cliff that I mentioned before. That I need to do something with. I'll probably just put a line of bushes and then a fence at the top. I think that's how it's going to be. Why the hell I'm getting more Yorkshire as that sentence goes on. I even noticed it myself that time. That's how bad it was. It's because these days I'm trying to talk more with my Yorkshire voice rather than... I won't say posh voice. I ain't got a posh voice. I'm not a posh person. I start talking more without my proper accent. And I don't know why I do it. I just do. Probably so I'll make it easy for you lot to understand me. Otherwise I'd have to have English subtitles and then it wouldn't understand me. Some of the stuff it thinks I say on these videos is, well, a bit shocking. Mind you, at least what I speak actually English, unlike the gobbledygook that Tom spiels out. Sorry, Tom. Sorry, mate. If you're watching, sorry, mate. Anyway, I'm putting this fence in. I'll shut the hell up and I'll just get on with putting this fence in. So I'm just getting this in, and we're going to have to make sure that it's not floating anywhere, which it's not. Yeah, it's not floating, that's good. That's all good. You can tell I've been doing a couple of these episodes now because I'm starting to chat absolute bare garbage. Now, I'm not sure what this is. In all honesty, I really don't know. I'm going to go onto Google Maps. I'm going to see if we can see from the street view that goes along the end of the street. It looks like little containers. Unfortunately, we don't have 3D view in Featherstone for whatever reason. They have it in the village I live in. Oh no, they don't actually. In the village I live in, they're little containers. I can see that. Right. So what we can do is up to that fence, we can put containers in. Asphalt blocks. Asphalt blocks lighter. Jen. So yeah, we can get containers in here. Can we use lines of them? That's the question. Oh, look at that. Yes, we can. They don't look great, but they'll fill a gap. Now, do we move this building along that way a bit? Yeah, I think we do. Put it on local, and you can sort of see it move that way. There you go. And then we can fit the containers now down the back of here. And we've got different coloured lines. So you've got line A, line B, and line C. And what you can do as well, because you've got 3 lines, you haven't actually got 3 lines, you've got 6. Because you can put line A, line B, and line C, and then you can reverse them, so you can rotate them. So the colours will be reversed, like so. So you actually have 6 variations, then you can put them in different orders. What I'm saying is don't just get line A and go, right, line A, line B, line C, and just leave them like that, because what you're seeing there, and it's this is like the most anal of anal things you could ever do in a route, don't get me wrong, but you can see it repeating. If you rotate them and stuff, you can't see it repeating. And that's just the sort of little things you can do to vary your routes up a little bit. Or you can just bury your containers in hill like I have there. Okay, so we'll just put 2 lines in. Because what we're going to do then is we're going to put some more down the back, as you can see. So we can copy and paste that one. Line C, grab that one. Line B, grab that one. And all we're doing is we're just getting these added in. They're a lot longer than the real ones. But because they're in lines, and the trade-off I've got here is that if we placed every one of those containers individually, we'd be like 50 assets down. We're actually on about, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 assets added there to the asset count, because each one of those counts as 1 asset, so that's obviously a good thing. Conscious of keeping it down. I don't get too upset about keeping it down, but conscious of it at the same time. But let's make a concerted effort to keep it as down as I can. So what have we got here? We've got waste ground. So I'm going to put some grass in there. And I'm going to put a fence across the back of this warehouse. This be this tune. All respect to the person that's written it, but you're coming off my playlist. Where the hell is it? What's the song name? Don't even think it's on the playlist. I don't even think that was on the playlist. God knows what we were playing there. But anyway, we're playing the stuff that's actually in the playlist now. Again, just getting this across here. So we've got the fencing. Next up, as I said, put some grass in on this field. Grass field extra large, just going to be a bit too big. Grass field large, pretty much a perfect fit, just slightly too big. We can make it go smaller with the scale tool. And then just make it go to a more sensible size like we did. Bury it down a bit. On this side we can put the long grass in that we did for the other one before. And there you go, simple as that, we've just got some grass in. Now, there's also some bushes and stuff in there. And all I'm going to do is put some hawthorn bushes and stuff in there. Group there. Could do with some singularly placed ones. Ash tree up there. I'm just trying to put some trees in as well, so it's not all the same. And these obviously are being placed individually, so they will add a little bit more to the asset count. Put a few maple trees in. Obviously they're a little bit bigger than what's there at the moment, but they will grow. Probably have grown since this was this Google image was taken. Actually, it's quite an old image. Now these ones are quite close, so I can put in 2 of the actual 3D bushes there. Basically keeping it from 2D to 3D just on this section. Like just somewhere here is sort of like with the line. The invisible line I've drawn to change from 2D to 3D. That helps massively with FPS to keep that going. Behind here it's sort of like weird, it's like really small bushes, but we can put in, the best one to put in is going to be hawthorn bushes once again. And we're not going to worry too much about this hill, but what we're going to do first of all is put in a line of hawthorn bushes on the hill. And we can rotate those so they're actually on the hill. And that just hides the man-made slope that there is there. So if you ever have to do a man-made slope, you can use that to mask it. You can see, you can really see it sort of here on this edge, so we can put on there. And now, because we've done that, you can hardly tell. You can a bit, but you can't really tell it that much. So I'm going to put a couple of little trees on the banking as well. I don't want it to be relatively small ones. There you can see that the height there, and they've got an industrial estate to pull up at the back. So you can see, if you're looking from this position, and you can illustrate what I meant, is without the trees you can see the hill. With them, can't really see it at all. So that's a winner in my eyes from where I see it. So that's all good. Next up, let's have a look at doing the next warehouse back this way, I think. We should probably paint the terrain though first. Be a good idea, wouldn't it? Tarmac light. Just go down the front of here with it. Then so there. I'm not going to do the back because the back's not enough in there. Tarmac dark for this one. And in here we want grass. I'm going to put bare grass. Just being careful when painting where the road is. Lower the brush size to 20, I think, on here. Is going to be the best option that we've got. And then going along. Continuing using the same brush. Trying not to break over that fence line too much, but sometimes obviously with the way terrain goes in TS you can't avoid it. It's going to be better there to have the tarmac going through the fence, I think, than the grass. Yeah, with the way the terrain mesh in TS works, you can't really avoid it because of the dimensions and stuff. Terrain painting is a really time consuming and not very rewarding job. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I can't talk. Can't speak. Right. So you can see now I've got 3 completed warehouses. So we're working as well on that row. FPS wise, you won't see what it is. I mean, I'm locked to 30. So that's the most that an eye can see, the human eye can see. I don't know if dogs can see a higher FPS. I don't know why people say it's most the human eye can see, but it is. But it's higher than that anyway. It's probably around 70 odd. 60 to 70 odd, I think. Maybe a bit higher. It was 90 odd up there before I locked my FPS. I usually lock it now for videos and streaming. So all we can do in here is by why am I saying by the way I was going to say for some reason. I don't know why I was going to say it, but and put the car parks behind here. Really basic ones though. And again, the reason I'm doing this is because you don't see it from the cab. So I'm really not concerned that it looks a bit crap because it's nowhere near the track and nobody's going to see it if you're driving a train like a normal person. And that's quite simply what I'm saying here. Is that from over here that looks fine. So, we've got this one next. This big lad. Now, it's quite difficult to see exactly where the fence and stuff goes. It looks like it goes around the corner. And then there's another one there, look, between these two. It seems. But I'm not going to put a palisade one on this time. I'm going to vary it up slightly. We'll put in a barbed wire fence on this one. Wait, why would there be a barbed wire fence there? Think, Mark, think. Why would there be a barbed wire fence there? Okay, that wasn't logical. I'll shut up. Putting a barbed wire fence there really wasn't logical. Made no sense. Right, put the palisade fence in. And then connect that one into the building. I'm just gonna. I might use the railway one here. I don't know. Some of these trees are a bit far across, aren't they? There should be a lot closer in than that. Now this is where that second sort of slope starts that I was talking about. So we're going to have to be conscious of that, but we don't have to worry about it too much. We can actually just carry this fence on, I think, for what it's worth. Instead of worrying about curving fences and stuff like that, just carry the same fence on. Cut the faff out. Quite a thick line of trees here as well, so really we don't need to go into much detail with this, and there's actually more detail to be done on the other side at this point where there's a little bit of a less sort of tree line. So I'm considering really not doing much on this bit, if at all, if anything at all. I don't think there's much there in real life. The odd trailer? Just put the odd trailer there then. Why argue with real life? If real life tells you there's a trailer, there's a trailer there. Concrete mixers. That's not what's there. Truck long. We'll put that one in. Looks like it's sensible for what's actually there. Just get it so it's not like floating about. Got a van or something down here, so we'll put this van in. And the pickup truck. It's an American pickup, but we don't worry about the fact that that's American. Now, where were those parked cars that I had? There. But they had a line, didn't they? There we are. Now, these are ones that I won't put use too much of because you find that you really will see those start to appear unless the colours change on them. Well, the colours do change, that's good. So you'll see the same models, but the colours at least change. Not sure what that little area is there. There's a couple more containers up here. Trailers, sorry, so we can put a couple more lorries up here. This one. I'll just put the one line next to the wall, actually, it's probably more sensible. And for all intents and purposes, I'd say that's about it. Let's put a lorry sort of coming out this door, or as if it's been loading or something. Because there is a scene from up there that you can sort of see this area from. And we could put a milk float. But we're not going to do. Forklift, we could put a forklift truck in. Have we got any people? There doesn't seem to be many people in DTG's packs that you can actually place these days very often. Which is a bit of a ball ache because you can't really put people in very easily now. No, mate, you don't want to be sat stood there. And we can put in. We can put a bin at the side here, can't we? CCTV post. Gotta watch I don't get too carried away. I'm making a little scene. And I'm literally just making a scene that when I'm up here taking a screenshot, there's something in the background. So that people can take screenshots and have something in the background. That's the reason I'm doing that. Is it exactly what's there in real life? No. Do I care? No. It's simple as that, really. If I can make a nice looking scene into a shot that's believable, and that's the key, is it believable, then I'll do it. I'll even do the unbelievable one as well, occasionally. But they're Easter eggs more commonly, rather than actual scenes. So once in every route, usually at least once in every route, try and do an Easter egg that's a little bit daft. Maybe drop some more sensible Easter eggs in somewhere. We've got a Cow and Dog Army on the Sheffield to Derby route that I don't think anybody's really spotted yet. There's various ones of those. So there's one on Earwash Valley that nobody's spotted yet. that means something to us at JT. That's quite a, for us it was quite a funny one. But I'm not telling anyone what it is because you can go find it yourselves. Anyone finds it, you can ask me what it is and I might tell you. Probably won't, but... Brooklands VC10. So yeah, we've got a little scene built up now. Nothing special, but we've got a little bit of a scene. We've got 722 assets placed. That's starting to get towards the sort of top end now of 1,000. I don't want to try and go... I'd like to keep us around 800 for this side of the track. And then we've got 200 to place over here. Before we start worrying a little bit. I'm going to put housing blocks over there, I think, mainly. We can put 4 or 5 housing blocks across there. Do this estate as actual houses. Do some of this as actual buildings. The town's unfortunately going to come into it as well. And the station. Well, the station's not quite. Some of it is. Yeah, we're going to be over 1,000, unfortunately, no matter what. Probably 1,300 or 400, I'd say now, looking at this. In terms of asset count. With the train paint on. Quite basic, but I'm quite happy with it. I think it fulfills what I'd set out to achieve with that. How long are we into the episode? 31 minutes. We've got about 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes to get some of these done. We're not going to get them all done. Simple as that. We're just not. Up here again, simple car parks, because we're not going to faff about going into too much detail up there. Ooh, queued you. Not going to bother with the road there, I don't think. I think it's fine just to use the terrain paint. So the final touch is what we'll do to this eventually. Is we'll just put some like trees and small trees and stuff in. And that'll basically finish this area off. I'm putting it all down to tarmac at the minute. Didn't actually put these in. What a clown. I didn't put these in. I said I'll put these in episode 18. So I probably should. This building with its stupid doors. What I can do with that is just put it in twice. Shouldn't really rotate it like that, but I have done. There we go. It hides the stupid big yellow doors. Oh, whoa. People aren't going to see that really, but triggered myself seeing that then. Alright, so we've got warehouses. What I think is a warehouse anyway. I need to go onto my Google thing. Maps. And we're looking at what that building, the square one, is at the minute. And they all look like, once again, these clad office things. Being the most closest sort of asset that we've got to them. Which it certainly is, unfortunately. So we're going to have a few of these placed, but sometimes that's how route building is. Let's have a look up this way and see what we've got. Yeah, these are warehouses as well. The ones that where are they? Here they are. What we can do is try and place some different coloured ones so that they don't look quite the same. Blue one's probably the best colour. And they're quite far from the track again, so I'm not really fussed with how they look. Just that they're sensible, which they are. Now these ones here definitely are officers. That one's not though, that's a warehouse. There we go, we got the remainder of those buildings in now. So we can carry on doing what we were doing, which is clutter. So another fence to go behind this row of buildings. Take this one down to the railway. Please take this one down to the railway. Trying to get it to go straight, there we go. And that's that. Quite a simple task, but we've done it. And so what I said with this is we're going to waste ground, so we'll make that waste ground because that's what it was around the time of Google. It's sort of like when the Google was doing it, it was just been changed from waste ground, but on the Google Street View it's just literally some bushes. So that's what I'm going to put in. Again, conscious of the amount of assets that we've got. Thankfully we're seeing that this is pretty easy going on terms of the amount of assets, amount of cars and stuff. We don't have to place too much. So I'm just having a little look through here, see what we can place. The one barbed wire fence. Do a chain link fence. That looks like the worst wrong, like most. Yeah, it's a walkway. Quite nice. Yeah, put the metal palisade fence here. Is going to be the most sensible option. It's a bit further across than where it actually is, but it doesn't split a warehouse in half by doing that. So just looking to bring this now to there. And then once again, just placing a few cars in here. And I'm probably going to end episode 18 doing this. Because we've got quite a lot done there. I think to finish episode 18, we should probably put some of this missing foliage in. Now what we can do here is we can put some lines of trees in and stuff like that. Probably going to be the most sensible thing. And the reason we'll put a line in is because so it'll hide it a bit. It's so that, so it'll hide it a bit, but also keep the asset count down by using lines of trees. We are trying to hide it as well. Hide some of the backing scene. So we've got some slightly smaller trees to put in here. Put some maple ones in. And then these are really quite dinky trees. Again, you can see them there, the newly planted sort of trees. Just try and vary it up so they don't look exactly the same. Down here, it's just literally like a bramble line or something. So I'm not going to worry too much with that. Looks a bit odd on concrete. I think it looks better without that. So here, I'm going to put a line of hawthorns down the back of there. So I'll split between the two. Now, when I paint this terrain now, it's going to be a really sort of look pretty pants, because you can't get the terrain mesh and everything to be working with you. You can sort of see it only does certain bits, which is about pain in the backside again. Can get around it a little bit by sort of going over into the hawthorn a bit, but you're still going to be struggling. Use them on tarmac. Where you can see where the chunky bits are in the paint, and that's what you can't actually get rid of. That's just literally the terrain mesh and TS being an absolute bitch. Once again, it's just not possible. Okay, I'm not going to lose any sleep over that, I'll be honest. Again, now it's a case of trying to just put some of these little trees in where there's trees in real life. Obviously trying to keep them quite small, because in real life they are pretty newly planted, a lot of these. That'll be a more sort of major line of trees that we'll put at the back later on. But for now, I think we'll leave episode 18 with this scene. And that'll be the thumbnail for it. Once again, guys, thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed episode 18. Episode 19, probably just going to be finishing off this area, doing some of the distance scenery over there, and then maybe going to the left hand side and doing some of the housing area and stuff, and carry on towards Wakefield. We've not got a major amount of miles to go to Wakefield, actually. It's only about 5 miles from here. You can sort of see what we've done. Doing pretty well. Happy with how we're going. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Don't forget to check out Tom. Is usually on Twitch whenever these days, it just seems to appear. Check out the Facebook page for sort of updates of when he's going to be live. Quite often it can be at short notice, like on the day. Then his Twitch account is twitch.tv/trainsim_TV. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Any questions you've got about route building, just drop them in. And don't forget to hit that notification bell as well, so you get the latest updates of when we've gone live with new videos. Thanks very much for watching, guys. We really appreciate it as always. See you later. Bye.